I want to call out 5 commonly held beliefs that if you're subscribing to these ideas, if you're believing these things, you are severely limiting your ability to grow, improve, and get to the next level. I hear these all throughout the coaching industry. I hear speakers from stage talk about them. You probably hear your friends repeat some of these phrases just in daily conversation. I hear leaders in companies telling their people some of these things. And I'm just telling you, if you're believing in these or subscribing to these, it's possible that you're severely limiting your growth and your ability to improve and go to the next level. So let's talk about these 5, beginning with number 1. You believe the idea that knowledge is power. I've heard that my whole life, and I'm here to call BS on that. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential. It's only acting on what you know, implementing what you know, or executing on your knowledge that makes it powerful. Otherwise, having a bunch of knowledge that you're not acting on or implementing on is really useless. So many people in society today have become what I like to call professional information gatherers, where they just read book after book after book, and they're gathering all this knowledge, and then they go to a conference or a seminar, or they invest in a course, and they continue to gather knowledge and information, but they don't ever act on it or implement any of it. They certainly don't execute on any or many of the ideas that they get from the books or the courses or the seminars or the podcasts that they listen to. So if you notice that you've become a professional information gatherer because you believe that lie that knowledge is power, now is the time to put all that down. Stop reading the books, stop going to the seminars, stop watching all the podcasts, and start implementing on what you already know. Start acting on what you know. Start executing on some of the things that you already know, and watch that move the needle for you. Stop the information gathering and start executing, acting, and implementing on the knowledge that you already have. Number 2, you believe that showing up is half the battle. This is one of my favorite ones. Listen, showing up is none of the battle. I played 7 years in the NFL, and there was a lot of games where we showed up. At 1:05, when the ball was scheduled to be kicked off, we were there on the field, lined up for the kickoff, and for the next 4 hours, we got smacked. We showed up, but we did not show up ready to play. So again, showing up is none of the battle. What matters is what happens when you show up. Are you going to show up as a version of you that's ready to go after it, that's ready to go hard, that's ready to compete, that's ready to give it your best? Just showing up, it's no brownie points. You don't get any extra points put on the board. You don't get any favors just because you showed up. So let's dispel that notion that you can just show up and you should get a congratulations for that. If that was true, all I'd have to do is drive to the gym every day, walk in and sit in a chair, and I could say, hey man, I went to the gym today, and then I'm watching myself get no results, my body doesn't change, my health doesn't improve, but I showed up. So let's dispel that idea that showing up is half the battle. It's none of the battle. What matters is what you do when you show up. So focus on showing up as the best version of you that you possibly can muster on that day. Focus on showing up as a version of you that's ready to add value, ready to contribute, and ready to make a difference and give your best performance. Number 3, you've been told your whole life, don't sweat the small stuff. People say it all the time. Oh, don't sweat the small stuff. It's not a big thing. Don't sweat it. I'll just be direct. That's the talk of average level performers. That's the mindset of mediocrity. The best in the world, the best of the best, the people that are constantly crushing it, consistently growing, improving, and going to the next level, they sweat everything because the details matter. Think about some of the high-level businesses that people run, that they're doing contracts and mergers, and even in real estate or the mortgage industry, the contracts that they write. One I not dotted, one T not crossed can tank an entire contract, can tank the entire deal. In pro sports, where I spent a number of years, inches matter, right? An inch here or an inch there is the difference between pass being completed for a touchdown or an important first down and the pass falling incomplete. Think about all the areas of life where details matter, where the inches matter. So this idea not to sweat the small stuff, ridiculous. If you want to consistently grow, improve, and get better, you've got to sweat everything because the details matter. Number 4, you believe that there's no I in team. I played team sports since I was in the 3rd grade. I can't tell you how many coaches have told me that there's no I in team. I call total BS on that. I always think of this quote by this old English author and poet named Rudyard Kipling. And the quote is that the strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. We all agree on that first part, that the strength of the wolf is the pack, right? We're better together, summoning our collective strength and ability and knowledge and wisdom than we are as individuals. We can go further together than we can as individuals. I agree that that's true. But the second part of that quote is also important, that the strength of the pack is the wolf. And what that tells me is that the individuals matter. In the team setting, the individuals being as strong as they can possibly be, being as ready to go as they can be, bringing the best version of them to the table every day, that is the greatest contribution, the greatest sacrifice that they can make for the team. And if you've got a team full of a bunch of individuals focused on being the best they can be, bringing the best version of themselves to work or to the field or to the relationship every single day, the team is better because of the strength of each one of those individuals. So this idea that there's no I in team is complete BS. The I's are the most important part of any team that you'll ever be on. And last but not least, one of my favorites, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you want to be great, it takes all of your energy, all your resources, all your mental capacity to be great in one specific thing. You don't have the mental bandwidth to be trying to be great in multiple different things. So if you want to stay average, then don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify and give 20% of your capacity to 5 different things. Or you can put all your eggs in one basket, have singular focus with no plan B, and take one thing to the top using all your energy, all your intelligence, all your resources, all your faculties, and scale one thing to the top. So those are my top 5 beliefs, cliches, that if you're believing those, chances are that it's severely limiting your ability to grow, to improve, and to go to the next level. If this video resonated with you, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm dropping weekly content to help you lead better and achieve and maintain a high-performance life.